Go.
What up, pimps? And welcome back to episode 5 of the Pod Funcast. I got my boy Hoff, I'm Swish, we're up in here. We're talking about the reviewed games that happened on Thursday, April the 12th, and the three games that are happening right now. So let's get started with the first matchup, Devils Lightning. Caleb, what you got your thoughts on?
Lightning won 5-2, but I don't know. I don't count out the Devils, man. I really like Nico Hersher and Taylor Hall. I like the way the new GM is rebuilding New Jersey, and I would keep an eye out on for them for Game 2.
All right, I agree with almost everything you say, except I think I wouldn't necessarily count them out just yet, like you said, but I still believe that the Lightning will win this series. They have they have a lot of great talent, especially since they did end up getting Stamkos back in Game 1. But I still think that the Lightning will win this in 6 games.
All right.
All right, second game of the night, Blue Jackets and Capitals. After the amazing, filthy performance by Artemi Panarin, Blue Jackets won 4-3 in OT. Now, Caleb, do you think this is where they stop, where the wins stop, or do you think they have a chance to actually win this series?
No, I think all the board of Panarin, Panera Bread, Panini, grilled cheese, Philly cheesesteak, all aboard his shoulders because he's the sandwich king, taking the Blue Jackets round 2 to face the Pens. Facts.
All right, Game 3 up in here. We're going to talk about this one just because it's the more interesting one. The Sharks beat the Ducks 3-0 last night. That great performance by Martin Jones. The Ducks also had their chances, although they couldn't finish them. How do you see this series going, Caleb? I'd like to hear your input.
I think Sharks are going back to their 2016, Stanley Cup appearance roots. Honestly, I could see them battling in the Western Conference Finals. I think things are clicking. Honestly, I think the Ducks dug themselves into a deep hole they ain't getting out of.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, especially since the Ducks they did end up getting Henrique for the Devils, but I don't think he's gonna do a whole lot. The Sharks recently acquired Evander Kane. Used to play for the low-level Sabres, stuck in mediocrity. Please get Jack Eichel out of there, please. I'll start a GoFundMe if you want to myself. We need to get Jack Eichel out of Buffalo.
Sorry, hashtag get trended on Twitter. Mama, we're going to the top.
Hashtag trended on Twitter. Next game, the Predators beat the Avalanche 5-2. What happened to one of the worst teams in the league, the Colorado Avalanche, have somehow crawled out of the depths of mediocrity and ended up fighting for the final wildcard spot. Of course, they had to beat the Blues in regulation, and that's what they did. And now they're playing the Predators, who are still salty over a Stanley Cup Finals loss against the Penguins and are now looking to wreak havoc on the league. What do you think about this series, Caleb?
What I think is I'm excited to see the Avalanche. Hopefully they go far. I like Mikko Radinin. I'm glad Nathan McKinnon's finally come into his own because, he's my age. He's 23 years old. 4 years ago, he was the number 1 overall pick, and hopefully he does well. Predators, I think they go to the Stanley Cup Finals for the West. Hopefully they get over the hump and beat whoever is there on the Eastern Conference final side.
All right, and the final game of Thursday, you're going to hear my wrath because on Thursday, the Bruins beat the Maple Leafs 5-1, and they just announced that Nazem Kadri, the filthy guy who decides to hit people just because he wants to, is going to be suspended 3 games, possibly for the rest of the series, considering that if the Bruins sweep them, which I don't think the Bruins will sweep them because the Maple Leafs have so much talent on the roster. It's just the matter of, will Frederick Anderson go back to his choking roots? So, what do you think, Caleb?
I don't think Anderson goes back to his choking roots. I just think there's not enough strong goaltending to carry the Maple Leafs to where they should be. I mean, Matthews, Nylander, Marner, phenomenal 3. I hope the Maple Leafs can keep them around for a long time because that's going to make for great hockey in Toronto. And I know you're not a big fan of Nazem Kadri, Mr. Clean's number 1 enemy.
I respect it. I agree with what everything you said. I think the Bruins can take out the Maple Leafs in 6 or 7 games. All right, so now on to tonight's games. Number one, we got the Flyers and the Penguins, a statement game that the Flyers needed to have, and they delivered on their promise. Now, Mister, I know it all over here thinks that the Flyers they're gonna be that one-win wonder. He thinks that the Penguins are gonna go. What's your
Uh,
reasonings, man?
yeah, no, honestly, Flyers. They listened to that Cha Cha Slide song, and when the verse came on, they said reverse, reverse. I think the Flyers took that to heart, and they thrashed the Penguins after coming off a 7-0 beatdown. Um, yeah, Penguins in 5. You heard it here first, folks.
That's blasphemy. Uh, I will agree. I do think the Penguins will win this series. I think it's got to be at least 6 or 7, man. You're giving the Flyers way too much underwhelming credit than what they deserve. I mean, they don't. I mean, yeah, they got old as cheese, Giroud Klue, and Jakub Voracek, but when the youth when the youth somehow steps in, the youth, it's not bad. Nolan Patrick missed some games early. He's starting to become one of his own. Plus they somehow entrusted I can't stop a shot Brian Elliott this game, which kind of surprised me. I thought they would put in Mrazek in net, but it is what it is. All right, second game of the night. Wild and Jets. Jets won 4-1. I do still believe that though that the Wild will win at least one game at home. What do you think about it?
Absolute trash. I think Jets sweep it. Go to Walmart, buy the brooms. Devin Dubnyk, love you. Love what you've done with your career for Minnesota. But honestly, man, right now you're playing like a pack of Swiss cheese in the back of my fridge that I found 6 months ago. Absolute trash. Absolute stink. Like, I gotta immediately take you out, dude. You're just absolutely horrible.
Before we leave this series, I did see a statistic right before we did this video that said that the Jets have outshot in the first 2 games of the series. They have outshot the Wild 84 to 37. Now, I mean, kind of when you have a team that's putting 40 plus shots on you every day, I mean, that's going to take your toll,
Man, it's
and you're going to
2018.
let up some goals.
It's 2018. Shoot your shot.
All right. I still believe Mr. Sweep It over here thinks that it's going to be a sweep. I think the Wild will win at least one at home, finish it in 5. And the final game that we got tonight going on is the Knights and Kings, still currently going on. They are right now in the third period. I still believe that this game will go 7, and I still believe that the series will go to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, Swish, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. I think the Kings' leadership and experience from their previous days, I think it's gonna bode them well. But honestly, I think Game Two's got to go to the Kings. I think they sneak one in late, win 2-1.
All right, I kind of respect it. You do, but you realize, you know, I understand where you're getting about the experience, but you also realize that the Golden Knights aren't just coming off with like people in the AA. They have Mark Fleury's 2-time or 3-time, right? If I remember correct, 3-time.
Yeah, 3-time Stanley Cup champ Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, 3-time Stanley Cup champ. James Neal has that finals experience last year with the Nashville Predators. Probably his best opportunity, but um, a lot of this team is built on role players in the league. Like David Perron is a really big role player that could end up, being the best role player for what his position is. So, anyways, guys, that was the video. My name's Swish. My buddy over there is Hoff, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.